Robbie, just curious for you, as the president, biggest challenges you have for the next 18 months. I mean, you're talking about doubling your team size. I mean, that's no joke. I think Tony Hsieh of Zappos did that at his previous software company and wrote a book how he was meeting people in the stairwells and he didn't know their names. And if 6 months later his first software company collapsed, which is I think why he put a lot of effort into the customer experience and the inside. Is that a big challenge for you? And how are you able to do it? You're obviously at war. You have a war chest. What's it like being you?
I think hiring is something we have gotten really good at over the past 6 months, and it's a never-ending staircase. But it's the most important thing to be good at as a company. I think you have to start with the right executive leadership. And so that's what we've been focusing over the last 6 months. And it's about never compromising on culture. So I would much rather hire 100 billion people than 300 okay people. I think that when you can put amazing people in a room, feel like they can trust each other, feel like they can say anything to each other, radical candor is incredibly important to me. Like, come to work, have fun, have the time of your life, and build a career-defining opportunity. That's what we're about. And if you go and leave in 4 years because you can now get paid astronomical sums of money because of the work that you're credited for doing at Immutable, that's what we want. And so really we're interested in taking the top 0.1% of global talent, giving them the top 0.1% opportunity they'll ever have in their lives, and paying them top percent compensation for it. And it's just about optimizing that funnel as we go like that.
And even though with those three numbers, it's still hard to find good people, right? It's a constant process, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. That's why referrals are like our main source of hires.
Okay. You sounded a bit like Ray Dalio there with the radical transparency that I know he preaches at Bridgewater. Are you a fan of that as a cultural style?
So we don't practice radical transparency. I think that's a slightly more extreme variant. We practice radical candor, which I believe is, it's not Christina Woodker, it's, I forget the name, it's a famous author. It's a brilliant book, one of the best books that changed my life. And it's more about just being completely direct, but also completely compassionate and thinking about the end user. And radical transparency is really about, the way Bridgewater is run is a very unique culture. I think it's really cool. And one day I'd love to experience that, but it's not the way that we're run. And I don't think it's the right fit for everyone.
Yeah, I definitely don't think you want to jump right from 0 to 100 on radical transparency in your business or relationship.
I don't think it's everyone's salaries on a big screen at the front and every meeting being recorded. I mean, it's very radical.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure, and props to him. What about you personally? I mean, as a president, are you finding it's important to spend a few hours a day, talking to people like me and putting out the vision and constantly communicating? I think I was talking to one of the former Metropolitan Police chiefs here in London, and he said, Brian, my job is communication. And I was thinking, doesn't the police force know what you're doing pretty much? And he's like, nope, every day I have to communicate to the citizens, to the police force, constantly communicate the vision, constantly communicate the updates. Is that something you find yourself doing more?
So they've done a study which says if you're the CEO of a large organization, and the study this was done, it was a 70,000 person organization, how many times do you have to say something for it to reach sort of the lowest level of the hierarchy of that organization? And it is 17. And personally, if I'm going to tell you something like feedback, I have to say it to you on average no less than 7 times for you to get the message. So communication is everything. Say the same message, say it all the time, and make sure it's important and sells your values. And so absolutely, that's core to what we're doing. Stuff like this is really important because right now, I think we have the best team in the space. We've got incredible people working on it. We've got an incredible product, and we've got incredible tokenomics. And what we have to do is help tell people this, help tell customers this so they can build the best games on us. Help tell game designers this so they can design games that are more pro-consumer and pro-player, but are also economically secure. And help tell the market this story so that they can understand the vision of what we're building towards. So absolutely, it's really important.
That's super helpful. And you have a community too, so you have to constantly communicate to them as well. You personally, I've had a few, layer one CEOs and some other people that they look a little disheveled at this point in their journey. I'm just wondering how you personally, just keep everything somewhat balanced so you can be the best you. Mm. Is there, training routines or mental routines? Obviously, you don't consume the news feeds. Have you got a process?
Yeah, I have some principles. I view myself as a sim, so I think like literally in The Sims, you have all these bars, and the four important ones to me are socializing. I've got to socialize well pretty much every day. Sleep, I've got to get pretty much 7 hours every day. Exercise, I have to exercise vigorously every day, and I've got to eat well. And if I hit those four things, if I don't hit one of these pillars and I feel off, I kind of discredit in my mind why I'm feeling that way. And I say, well, actually, no, this narrative you're creating doesn't matter. These are off. And that's what's creating that feeling. And if I've got all those and then I feel off, I'm saying, okay, well, it's time to dig a bit deeper. But that's been the biggest benefit for me. I'm a big fan of structure. I think it serves you incredibly well. And I'm also a big fan of, Web3 is amazing in the decentralization of incentives and the possibility and the types of companies you can create. But having a decentralized anonymous company it's really tough to thrive in. And so what I'm actually really proud of is the fact that we have completely decentralized Web3 product that is, all of the best stuff around what Web3 stands for in terms of principles and proposability. But in terms of the company that we're building and in terms of the people we're building, it's very much the best of, I think, the Web2 world, which is, a really clean and purposeful org chart that gives people simplicity and clarity, a team that works together and kind of holds each other accountable in the best ways. We prioritize open communication and having fun at work and establishing real relationships and having clear sort of brightness of future and clear up mobility. And so all of the things that make you building an exceptional machine of an organization in Web2, we try and build just with this Web3 product.